Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Thank you all for showing your support by liking the videos, commenting, and sharing the videos as well. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed.
Well, hello everyone. I know it's been a while since my last video. As I've stated in the last video, I'm still trying to get a rhythm of posting videos out to y'all. We're going to be playing catch up, so there's going to be a lot of different clips that I'm going to be pulling from different videos because, you know, I really just haven't been watching her, but I wanted to kind of, you know, touch on some things that I have not addressed. And I know it's a lot of videos that I've missed, so we're just kind of playing catch up in this video. But with that being said, you guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So let's get into it.
Come over here. Come over here. Come play with us. Come on. Look how big he's getting. Isn't he getting big, y'all? He's like a little kid now. You're like a kid, dude. Yeah, it's still late. It is. Thank you. Uh-oh, Kalani wants to go on the swing. Oh, Liberty, thanks. My face is just so, I don't know, it's dry. My face is so... I should get the new baby. Okay, so here's the thing about the new baby. I have a name, right? But I know somebody who's already used this name. So I was thinking of hitting her up and being like, hey, can I use your name? But, like, she's not really in my life anymore. But, like, I still love her. So I might see her again. I don't know. Probably not. But who knows, you know? I don't know. I feel like I need to ask her. But maybe I don't need to ask her. Because, like I said, she's not really in my life anymore. Can I use her name?
So, as always, Olivia takes her children to the park, but she's on live the whole time. She's never going to the park and actually spending quality time with her children. So, you heard her say, oh my gosh, Kalani's going to want to go on the swings. What child goes to the park and not wants to go on the swings? But she said that because she doesn't want to have to get up and interact with her children. She doesn't want to have to leave her life. And so I think it's so, I don't know, it's very irresponsible of Olivia to be taking her young children to the park and she's not keeping both of her eyes on her children because as we've spoken a lot about over here, things happen, unfortunately, all the time when it comes to children. And the fact that Olivia just lets her kids run loose and I guess she expects other parents to watch her children for her. It is just very ridiculous to me that she does this every single time she goes to the park. But of course she ends up going to the park and, you know, allowing AJ to ride his bike because of what we were saying over here as far as her not letting that little boy do anything. You know, we talked about the scooter, and I'm trying to understand, does the boy even have a scooter? Because she went from saying that she got him a scooter and she was not going to let him ride it until she got Kalani a scooter. But we clearly see she got AJ a bike and she also got Kalani a bike. So I'm not sure about that. Like, was she lying about the scooter or what? But like I said before, you know, the fact that she's allowing them to be outside on the bikes is a clear indication that she listens to what we are saying over here and she tries to accommodate what we are saying. She'll never give credit, but obviously she does try to change up how she's moving over there because she does listen to what we're saying and she's reading comments. But I thought it was also weird for her to say that she's trying to get permission from somebody because she wants to name her unborn child the same name as, I guess it was an ex-friend or relative, I don't know. But, I mean, I thought that was kind of interesting that she felt the need to ask if it was okay, as if the person came up with that name. I don't know if the name is unique and the girl came up with it herself. I don't know why she felt the need to have to ask, but that's pretty much what she's saying right here. But yeah, let's move on.
What y'all think? I was really close to her at one point, but I'm not close to her anymore, so. But I kind of feel like I am still close to her, like in my heart. But we're not close. But in my heart, we are. Is that okay if I use her name for the baby? You don't need to ask anyone about a name. He's so good on his bike. Look at him go. Go, AJ, go, AJ, go. Look at him, y'all. He's so smart. He taught himself how to ride that bike. And guess what? Mommy put that bike together. Who needs a man? I don't. Shit. I put that motherfucker together. I did. Me. Me out the box. Fuck y'all talking about a man for? Bitch, who needs a man? Shit. I mean, it would be nice, but girl.
Every time I hear Olivia talk like this, she sounds so bitter. Like, it's very obvious she doesn't like the fact that she doesn't have a man in her life who's there to help her with her children, who's there to, take care of her, spoil her, just somebody that's willing to settle down with her and really be with her for the long term. She definitely wants that. And that's why she talks down on everybody that does have it. That's why she has to convince herself in her mind that everybody that does have this type of man, the man must be ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so ignorant, but it's very obvious that this girl is very unhappy with her life. It doesn't matter how many times she comes on this camera and tries to pretend that she's cool and she's so self-sufficient and she don't need a man. Like, it's very obvious that this girl really does want a man that she can claim and that will be willing to claim her. But Olivia really needs to get a grip because she's talking about, AJ, he's so smart, which he is, but she was like, he's so smart, he taught himself how to ride a bike. Olivia, the bike has training wheels on it. Like, it's not that difficult for a child to hop on a bike with training wheels. Kalani is doing the same thing, girl. Like, what are you talking about? Now, I can see you saying that if he actually jumped on a bike without training wheels and you said he taught himself how to ride, that's different. But to say AJ taught himself how to ride a bike and it's a training wheel bike, like, girl, what?
She said, coming. Okay, we're gonna leave now. Because honestly, guys, you only have an hour until bedtime, y'all. So we gotta go. Come on, we gotta go get some food. Mommy and the baby are hungry. He said no. He's just not caring. 5 minutes. Girl, you already got 5 minutes.
And this is why we continue to speak on the things that we speak about, because can you imagine if nobody pointed out the stuff that we see over there in Liv's life? Can you imagine all the things that we see her now doing with her children she would never do? So it's basically making her, do things that she typically wouldn't do. And true that she's not doing it because she really wants to do it. She wants to do it. She's doing it simply because she's trying to prove us wrong. But at the end of the day, at least the children are being able to do some things that they wouldn't typically be able to do if we wasn't speaking on the things that we speak about. So with that being said, let's move on to the next video.
I'm coming to pop butts. Take a nap. Do you feel like your reward is coming? Do you feel peace about all the vile things done to hurt you? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. What a person does or says about you, that's their own negative feelings, thoughts, and insecurities, honey. You know? As long as they're not touching you and they're not saying it to your face, what can you really do? You know what I mean? There's nothing to really say or do. Like I said in my video, I hope people heal. People are very bitter about their own life situations and their own circumstances. So they take it out on other people. It's done every single day here on this internet, in real life, you know what I mean? People are just upset. They have a horrible situation and they're stuck in it. One thing about me is I'm never stuck. I can get up and I can leave Texas tomorrow. I could have been out of Texas. I could go wherever I want to go. And I've been saying this for the longest time. Like, all I have to do is make a couple phone calls and I could go wherever I want to go. So, you know, it's not, everybody doesn't live the same life. So I think people wish they did live a certain way, but it is what it is.
What boggles my mind with Olivia is the fact that she really believes that her life is something to be envious of. You know, for her to say all I have to do is make a couple of phone calls, we know the phone calls that you make is to your mother. And you know, I'm not wishing any bad to come to Stella, but at the same time, it's like, what would Olivia do if she didn't have her mother? And I think that's the thing that Olivia needs to really try to put into perspective, because she has been so dependent on her mother and her stepfather. You know, it just makes me question, how would this woman truly survive without her mother? Because she relies on her mother for everything. And I think it's gross for Olivia to be the age she is and she still doesn't see the problems with her being so dependent. Olivia thinks that just because she's living in a home without her mother makes her independent, makes her self-sufficient. And that is not the case at all. We clearly know how involved Stella is when it comes to the important things that goes on in Olivia's life, whether it's financially, whether it's pertaining to her children, you know, her needing somebody to really help her with normal tasks and things that, you know, a woman of her age shouldn't need that type of help and assistance. Olivia needs it. She literally depends on it. And I think it says a lot for Olivia to be at the age she is. And we clearly see year after year after year how much she depends on her mother to get through her day to day, to get through every situation that arises. And, you know, again, I'm not trying to speak anything out into the atmosphere, but I think, you know, at some point, especially as we get older, we have to consider the fact that as we get older, our parents get older, and we should not put our parents in a position where we are expecting them to continue to be there in the capacity that they shouldn't have to continue to be, especially when we are of, you know, a substantial age and we have children. Like, I get the fact that our parents will always be our parents, but you shouldn't have to need them so much as you get older. And I feel like Olivia doesn't get that. She thinks just because I have my mother, I should be able to ask whenever I need, instead of her taking into account that some things you should just be able to figure out on your own. And going to your parents should be a last resort if you have to go to your parents. Olivia doesn't get that. And so I think for that purpose alone, I think it's very gross that Olivia feels that she can use that as a flex to make it seem like she's better than the next woman, or women are envious of her position, because as I state all the time, there is nothing about her life that is envious, that would make someone envious of it. And for her to literally say out of her mouth that she's not stuck, but your whole life that you display on this internet shows that you are stuck in your life. We have not seen any, movement that would make anyone see, oh wow, she's really, growing. She's really doing better. It's the same. Your life looks exactly the same. The only difference is you're introducing new men into your life around your children, and you're getting pregnant again, over and over again. But where it should count, when you look at the time that's going by, the years that's flying by, there's nothing about your life that shows any type of progression that is positive. So it's just very weird for me to listen to how Olivia speaks and how she feels that some kind of way she's in such a great position that would make anyone jealous of it. It's the weirdest thing ever. But let's move on.
But the thing about it is, they can't get with the program. Because I would not be with any of them. Because obviously we're not together for a reason. And I have cut them off sexually. So, they're mad. And they feel like they can't respect me if they can't slide up in it. See, here's the thing I notice about a lot of people. It is very peaceful if your baby daddies don't still want you. It's very peaceful. And I see a lot of you bitches that live that life. You guys go along with your days and co-parent very well. Because that nigga doesn't want you anymore. These niggas still want me very much so. Very much so. So that's why they can't, co-parent correctly. They can't be just chill and cool and, homies with me, because they still want to hit. And they can't get over it.
I have never seen a person, male or female, do as many flips the way this girl does, just to not have to be seen as someone who's doing something wrong. This girl would say anything to get out of anybody looking at her in a way that would, show that this girl doesn't know what she's doing, that would show that she is doing something incorrect. Anything that would make her perceived to look bad. This girl would say anything to not be looked in the way that it's clear she's looking like, because she doesn't know how to own up to who she is. She doesn't know how to really live in her truth, because the truth of the matter is, this girl is doing a lot of things wrong, and she's dealing with a lot of consequences for the wrong that she's done. And because this girl doesn't want to do anything that would exemplify right behavior, that would exemplify mature behavior, she has to convince herself in her mind that everything that she does wrong is actually right. Everything that is perceived as, something is wrong with her, to the average person that's watching her life, it's the opposite. Everything is the opposite to what we clearly see going on in her life. And so now what she's doing is she's convincing herself that it's not because, there's something wrong with her as to why she can't successfully co-parent with her baby fathers. The problem is they all want to sleep with her. And if you are a woman who is able to successfully co-parent with your baby father, then that means that the baby father just don't want you. Y'all see how jacked up this girl mind is? So just like how she said everybody's husbands and boyfriends and significant others are ugly because they actually want to be with them, they actually, was able to, have someone that was willing to, put a ring on it and settle down with them, they have to be ugly. Just like what she's saying here. If you are in a mature co-parenting situation, it just means that, you're not desirable. The man just don't want you like that. That's why he's willing to co-parent. Like this girl, oh my gosh, I've never seen anybody like her before. It is the craziest thing, and I say that wholeheartedly. It is the craziest thing I have ever seen. The lengths this girl goes through to convince herself in her mind that nothing is wrong with her. It's very, very bizarre.
Yeah, here's my papa, and there's my mama, and they made this bad bitch right there. Period. I think I look like my dad. I look like both of them though, and look how fucking stunning Miss Stella was. Okay, period. Don't play with it. My mama was a baddie. What the fuck? Shit. Get the fuck out of here. So my mama was a crackhead. They met on the block. Blah blah blah. No, my mother owned her own business. She worked for an insurance company. Then she owned her own business. My dad was always in retail. He worked at like Macy's. He used to sell suits and shit. No, not at all. They were both a little crazy. You feel me? Like, who isn't? They were young and dumb. Who isn't? But all this extra, knock it off. Okay. I look like both of them. I do. I'm gonna post this reel. On my thing because bitches got it fucked up. Y'all still running with this not even funny joke that this man is my father. Ew. Whose daddy is this though? This is one of y'all ugly daddies. That's why y'all mad. This is how your daddies look. No, not mine, honey. I'm sorry. When I find these pictures though of my dad's so-called modeling days, I'll show you guys. Oh, and he had very white straight teeth. Yes, clock the teeth, honey. Yes, you see how my dad was kind of like brown, red, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, his teeth were always, yeah. Yeah, it was giving. It was giving what it was supposed to give. But yeah. I just don't understand the lies. What's the point of the lies? Why the lies? I know that poor man probably like, why am I all over the internet? I'm sorry, man. I had to make this my content today because I'm just like, why are y'all still lying? If y'all gonna talk shit, make it be the truth. Talk shit about some real shit. Talk shit about some. What do y'all want to know? Cause y'all love to make fun of me about shit that's lies. I grew up with my grandma. Lie. No, I didn't. My mama raised me. My dad wasn't around. No, he was. He was just a weekend dad. What else? My mom was on drugs. Wrong. She was never on drugs. My mom always had 2-3 jobs, and my mom was an entrepreneur my whole life. Clock that T. We didn't have a lot of money, but then we had a lot of money, and we cool now. My sister and I have a beef. No, we don't. I love my baby. That's my girl. I'm finna go see her very soon. What else? Oh, my mom is neglecting her mom. Girl, bye. My mom is with her mom today. Bentejas. The fucky. Like, bitches on the internet, y'all don't stop a motherfucking thing. Y'all want to talk about a house and generational wealth. Yes, all of that. All of that. All of that. A couple houses, actually. But I don't need to tell my business, and I don't need to stunt for bitches. You know what I mean? Like, the more you tell your business, the more they try to, like, find shit out. The more they go searching, the more... No. I can just show y'all. I don't need to tell y'all. I can show y'all better than I can tell y'all. Okay? Yeah. What else is there to know? But like I said, if you're gonna talk shit about some real shit, you know? Talk shit about something that's the truth. Don't make stuff up and then crack on shit that's not real. That's not fun. There's no fun in that. What's the fun in that? You're lying. That's my dad. What the fuck? And if that was my dad, bitch, that would be my dad. Shit, what's the problem? Half of your daddies look like the dope man. Don't play with me. Don't ever fucking play with me. Yo daddies? Let's not get started on your bald-headed mamas and your daddies. Okay? Let's not even go there. Please. Okay? Because a lot of y'all hoes, and I'm talking about my haters, a lot of y'all bitches look like your daddies. Okay? So please, I don't want to go there. Okay? We can all pull a picture out of our daddies. Okay? You want to go there?
The reason why people bring up the whole generational wealth is because that's what you led with, Olivia. You led with that to make it seem as if you come from money, you got money, but all we see is you living broke and in poverty. And so it's like now you're wanting to say, you don't have to talk about what you got. You don't have to talk about money. You're not trying to, flex on anybody. But Olivia, this is what you was doing. The only reason why you can't do it now is because you can't back up what you was saying before. Just like you want to make it seem like, oh, the generational wealth is still intact. I still have 2 houses. Like, girl, but look at how you're living. The math is not mathing at all. And, it's just the fact that Olivia, she's still holding true to her version of the story when it comes to, how she was raised, where she lived growing up. But it's like, Olivia, you have forgotten what you have told the internet. You forgot the stories that you shared with the people when you first came onto this internet. And it's like you're getting upset because people are saying certain things about your upbringing. But it's like, girl, this is what you was already telling the people. This is what you was saying was your real truth. But now you want to change it. Why? I don't know for sure. Maybe it's because, you said too much and your mom didn't like the fact that you was telling her business, so you had to clean it up. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter how many times you try to backtrack. People remember what you said when you was on here in the beginning of your YouTube career. So, I don't know. I just feel it's very weird that Olivia is always talking about living in your truth, but she doesn't know how to live in her truth.
She don't feel good. Buddha. Buddha Buddha. Booty. You live in Michigan? Yeah, I am considering Michigan, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm probably gonna end up back in Florida because that's probably where all my family's gonna end up, in Florida. I can't really get into detail about that, but yeah, we're probably gonna end up back in Florida, which I'm cool with. That's where I want to do certain things, and y'all will see. I'm not going to talk anything about it because people like to try to ruin your plans and stuff. So that's all I can say. My babies are going to be Florida babies again. Back in the sand and back in the water. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. But I was considering Michigan. Michigan looks beautiful, but I have to think about everything. I have to think about the long run. I have to think about buying something. If I buy all the way in Michigan, but my sister's in Florida, my mom wants to be in Florida, I just have to be smart. I could go wherever I want to go, and I'll have the backing to do so, but I have to be smart. The long haul, Michigan's kind of... Am I doing anything to build my credit? Yes, I am, actually. Yes, I am. I am doing a lot to build my credit, and I'll do more in the future. Um, but it really isn't about my credit. That's the thing. It's not about my credit. Um, the people around me have very good credit, so.
And this is why I said what I said earlier. I think it says a lot for Olivia to say, it's not about, my credit, because I have people around me that have good credit. I think it's extremely sad that this girl doesn't want to do anything that would require effort, that would require any type of work to be able to stand on her own 2 feet and depend solely on herself. So she was lying when she said that she was working on her credit. That was a lie. Because as soon as she said that, she turns around and says, well, I don't think it has anything to do with, with my credit, because I have people around me that has good credit. Meaning, I don't have to worry about my own credit. I can just rely on other people's good credit. Just like she relies on other people's property and other people's assets, other people's money. This is what she flexes on. Other people's accomplishments, other people's hard work, other people's ability to, do something with their life to gain some type of something. This girl ain't trying to do nothing. And it's like, it just does something to me to hear how entitled she is. She is very entitled. And I think it says a lot to what her mother has allowed this woman to do, and how she has allowed her to be. Even at her big grown age, Olivia doesn't know how to just get it out the mud on her own. She relies heavy on her mother. And it just does something to me to hear her, be that entitled to somebody else's money when she could do the work herself and apply herself and get her own self in a position where she doesn't have to depend on other people's money, other people's credit. She could actually do it on her own. But she don't want to do that because that's too much like right. It's very sad, and it's very gross to see a grown woman of Olivia's age move the way she moves. But y'all, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. It's OneLove, and I'm out.